So next one is containers in Python. So there are several containers in Python like sets, dictionaries, lists, tuples. All these are all containers which are going to group the objects. Okay. And in these containers, there are several properties like some of them are mutable and some of them are immutable. So what is meant by mutable? Okay. So the mutable property is nothing but you can update the values or you can change the values. Okay. Whereas if a particular container is immutable, it means you cannot modify it. Okay. You cannot modify it. Next, ordered versus unordered. If you consider ordered container, all the elements will be stored in a particular sequence. If you go for unordered sequence, then obviously there won't be any order in storing these elements. Okay. Whereas indexable versus non-indexable. Okay. So if one particular container is indexable, which means you can access its elements with the help of index or key. Okay. And whereas for non-indexable, you cannot access. So let's discuss about lists in Python. And the property of list are these. And first, what is meant by list? List is also used to store the objects in a sequence, which is ordered sequence. And all the elements are placed inside the square brackets. You can see the elements like, for example, 10, 20, 30. These are all elements in a list. Okay. And all the elements inside the list can be of any type. Okay. So you can store elements of integer type. You can also store the elements of floating point type. You can also store the elements of string data type like this. Next one is lists are mutable. It means once you create the list, you can add new elements into the list. You can also update the existing elements. You can delete the elements from the list like this. So let us see an example on list here. So this is my list. It contains several elements like 1, A, 6.58 like this. Now I am displaying this my list. The elements will be displayed as it is. Okay. And there is a built-in function for list, which is alien function used to compute the number of elements inside the list. So how many elements are there? Totally 3 elements are there that will display 3. Okay, if you print alien of my list, you will get the result as 3. Next, plus is used for concatenation operation performed over lists. Okay, this is list 1. List 1 contains elements like 1, 2, 3 and list 2 contains elements 4, 5, 6. We are merging these two lists, list 1 plus list 2. So the elements will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Next one is star is used for repetition operation. Okay, list 1 star 3. It means the elements that are there inside list 1 are 1, 2, 3. Now we are repeating those elements for 3 times. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. And next one is displaying or creating a empty list. Okay, creating an empty list and then displaying it. List 3 is equal to, this is clearly an empty list. Now we are printing that empty list here. Okay, you will get the result like this. Similarly, you can also create an empty list with the help of list. Okay, this is another method to create an empty list. Here also when you display, you will get the empty list. Okay. So let us consider primes is the name of the list, and the list of elements are prime numbers up to 17. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. So these are all prime numbers. that are in the range of 2 to 17, and you can see their corresponding indices. So 2 is exactly stored at index 0, 3 is stored at index 1, 5 is stored at index 2, 7 is stored at index number 3, 11 is stored at index number 4, 13 is stored at index number 5, and 17 is stored at index number 6. Okay. So now we are printing primes of 1. So that is at this particular index, whatever element is stored, that will be displayed. The element is 3. Okay. And then primes of 3 colon. Okay. So we are starting at index number 3. We are starting at index number 3 till the end, because the ending index value is not written. So it is going to access from the index number 3 till the end of this list. So all the elements will be displayed, which is 7, 11, 13, 17 will be displayed. Next, in the same list, you can observe starting from, okay, because the starting index is not written here, it will start displaying from this starting position and up to less than 3 index. Okay, so you can see the elements here, up to less than 3 means less than this particular element. So all these 3 elements will be displayed. Okay, so this is nothing but concept of slicing. And next, in the same primes, okay, you can see this is the primes list containing elements 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. These are the elements, right? Okay, you can see total 7 elements. Okay, all these 7 elements exactly I have taken. Now, if you look at their corresponding indices, okay, so let me consider their indices like this. This is 0th index, this is the first index, this is second index, this is third index, this is fourth index, this is fifth index, and this is sixth index. Okay. Now we are trying to access from index number 2, up to less than index number 5, which means this particular chunk or slice we are trying to access. Okay, and when you display it, you will get the result like this: 5, 7, 11. Next, we can reverse the entire list by writing colon colon minus 1. Minus 1 is representing the last index, right? Okay, so starting from the last index, it has to display each and every element. So all the elements will be displayed in the reverse order if you write like this. And my list of 1 is equal to E. Okay, so we just go through what is written inside my list earlier. Okay, you can see 1 comma A comma 6.58. That is my list, isn't it? So we can write like this: my list of 1 is equal to E. Okay, you can modify element inside my list of 1. Okay, like for example, here in this example we are considering my list is equal to initially A comma B comma C, A comma B comma C. Okay, now if you look at their corresponding indices exactly, okay, so this is index number 0, this is index number 1, and this is index number 2. Okay, so the elements at exactly index 1 gets modified, that is this particular index element, which means B will be modified to E here. Okay, and now after updating this element to E, the updated list can be printed and you will get the result like this: AEC. Now consider creating a new list. Okay, so we are considering my list is equal to elements like this: A comma B. This is the current list. Now we can append an element to the list. Okay. So using a function, that is built-in function performed on list, that is append function, to append an element into the list. Okay. So let us suppose the element is a C. We can append this particular element to my list by writing append of this particular element. So my list dot append of C. Okay. It will append element C into the list. So finally, when you display the list, you will get elements like A, B, C. Okay. Next one is you can also add elements of a list to the existing list. So we know already my list contains a total of 3 elements. One is A, the other one is B, the other one is C. Now I want to merge, I want to add another list of elements to this particular list. So let us suppose another list of elements are D, E, F. Okay. So I want to add this list of elements also here. So in that case, you can make use of extend function, which is a built-in function. So my list dot extend of these elements D, E, F. Okay. It will be merged to the existing list called my list, and then you can print that list. Next, we can insert an element at a particular index. If you observe append operation, that will append the element at the end of the list. But to insert an element at a specified index, you can go for insert function, which is a built-in function. For this, you have to specify the index here. At what index you are trying to insert an element. So initially you can see before this exactly these are the elements A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, these are the elements of my list. Now I want to insert element called Z at index number 0. So exactly at index 0 we are appending or inserting the element called Z. Okay, and then you can print this list. Next one is pop operation. So we are considering this newly obtained my list as input, and performing pop operation will remove the last element from the list by default. Okay, and you can also specify the index. If you specify the index, then the element at that index will be removed from the list. Okay, and we can also remove the element directly by specifying the element. If you consider our previous output, it is Z, A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So from this, I am removing the element called Z from the list. Okay. So you can see Z is removed here. Next one is count method. Count method is used to count how many times a particular element is appearing in the entire list. So you can see this is the Fibonacci sequence. Elements are 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Now I want to count how many times element 1 is appearing in this list. So totally 2 times it is appearing, right? So that you can display with the help of print. Next one is index. You can obtain the index of an element from the list. Okay. So we know already the list is given like this. Fib is equal to, these are the list of elements, right? 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay. So for these elements, if we consider the index like this, 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3, index 4, index 5, and index number 6. Okay. So I want to identify the index of an element called 13. You can see the index of 13 is 6, right? So you can call like this, name of the list dot index of element. The element is actually found inside an index called 6. So that can be displayed with the help of print. Next, you can also reverse the elements in the list. Let us suppose the current elements inside the list are A, B, C, and you can perform reverse function on this list of elements like letters dot reverse, and then you can display those letters. So after reversing, the elements are C, B, A. Next, you can return a sorted list of elements by applying the sorted function on the list numbers. So you can see numbers are 2, 10, 3, 26 and 5. These are not yet sorted. They are in sorted order. Here you can see after performing sorted function, and the input is numbers list. It gets sorted and it will display the sorted list. Next one is numbers.sort function. Okay, so this is going to sort all the numbers in place. Okay, and it will modify the existing list. So previously our numbers list is completely in unsorted order. Now when I print numbers list, it will sort the entire elements and display. Okay, that is the numbers list gets updated to this one, which is a sorted list. Whereas if you consider the previous example, we are performing sorted of numbers, then you are getting the sorted list, but the numbers will remain same. Okay, so it will be still an unsorted list. Okay, but if you apply numbers.sort function, it is in place, sorting a function is applied, and obviously all the numbers are sorted here, and it will get updated. The list is getting updated with the sorted list of numbers. And now reverse order sorting. You can also sort the numbers in the reverse order. For that purpose, you have to make this reverse is equal to true. It will sort the elements in the reverse order, that is in the decreasing order or descending order. And you can also find the maximum value or minimum value in the list of elements. So in these elements like 2, 10, 3, 26 and 5, min of numbers is what is the minimum element in the entire list of numbers? 2. And what is the maximum element in the entire list of elements? 26. Okay. So you can get 2 and 26 as results. Okay. Thank you.